Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is Lauren Cooks Levitan. She is the CFO at Faire. Lauren, fantastic to have you here. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
Thanks for having us, Judy.
So let's start off by talking about the company. Tell me, what is Faire and how does the platform work?
So Faire is an online wholesale marketplace. We connect hundreds of thousands of independent retailers with over 100,000 brands, and we enable them to transact with each other, grow their businesses, save time, save money, and hopefully succeed and thrive regardless of the economic conditions that they're facing.
Now, Lauren, how big is this market of independent retail?
The market is actually huge. It's hiding in plain sight. And so we often hear about big box retail and online big retail, but independent retail is massive. If you look at the number of doors that are represented by the retailers that Faire services, together they make up more than 5 times the number of doors of all the Targets, all the Walmarts, all the Starbucks, all the Home Depots put together. Together they do about $30 billion in volume, wholesale volume, across Faire and all of their other channels. So this is a massive channel. And retailers have always wanted to be able to find independent brands. Independent brands have always wanted to tap into this market. Historically, it's just been very difficult to do so. So at Faire, we think about how we can reduce the friction, level the playing field so that they can have the same access that big retailers and big brands have.
And how do independent retailers compete against big box e-commerce chains?
They compete very effectively, largely on curation. If you think about the local retailers in your community, I like to describe them as the original influencers. They're the ones who know your customer. They know you when you come in the store. They've identified products that are going to work for their local community. And they compete effectively by being able to find unique product. They source that from around the world. And again, Faire makes it much easier for them to do that. Historically, it would be very difficult to find women-owned brands or sustainable products or brands from different countries. Now, you're able to filter and shop on Faire to find all of those. So these retailers, they can compete very effectively. Historically, they've also had limited access to working capital. Big retailers historically have had better terms from brands. They've had return privileges from brands. And that's one of the other things that Faire has tried to do to allow them to compete effectively. So they have access to net 60 payment terms. They have the ability to return goods when they first transact with the brand, but without having to have the sea of sameness that we see throughout most of retail.
Mm-hmm. And finally, Lauren, tell me what's next for Faire and how will this sector of retail continue to be successful?
So our roadmap is always driven by what our brands and our retailers are asking us for. And we're constantly building out additional features, additional tools to support them, to help them be successful. Some of the things that we're working on to support them is a program called Open with Faire. Typically in difficult economies, you see a lot of new business formation. So Open with Faire is a program that supports new businesses forming to enter the local communities with retail. We allow them to access up to $20,000 to build their inventory. To date, we've helped over 15,000 retailers get up and running through Open with Faire, and we'll continue to support them. Another thing we're doing is leaning into and building out our exclusive partnership with Shopify. We're the exclusive wholesale partnership to Shopify, and they have millions of brands and retailers that use that as their platform. By integrating together seamlessly, we're going to make it much easier for those brands and retailers to continue to stock their stores. And then finally, we're also, constantly making the site better. We're working on search improvements. We're working on speed improvements. We're working on recommendations that will be better to help our retailers find products that are going to make them stand out, that will allow them to serve their communities. Our mission is actually to help brands and retailers strengthen the local communities through unique curated product and to improve the unique communities that they serve. And we think that this long set of tools and features that we're building out for them will support them no matter what the economic conditions they face.
All right, well, Lauren, it's been wonderful to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.